cross. I'm always most concerned about the least of these, about the children, about the elderly, the orphan, the widow, the fatherless, the motherless, the poor, those who've been marginalized and spit on. And of course, I come from a people who've been terrorized and traumatized and stigmatized for 400 years.
Yeah.
And yet we still keep dishing out love warriors. Go back to Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Malcolm X, my mother, my grandfather. In the face of so much hatred, they still mustered the courage to love. And so when I spill over into the electoral-political arena, I'm always looking at it with a set of moral and spiritual criteria. That's why I'm not a politician. I have comrades and friends who are in the electoral-political system, but I have very high standards. And we live in such a debased culture, and we live in such a corrupt political system, that when I try to make an intervention, the first thing I look for is what is more rare these days, which is integrity. Integrity. W. Du Bois used to say over and over again, one of the fundamental questions of all oppressed people is how shall integrity face oppression? Didn't say cupidity, love of money. Didn't say venality. Selling one's soul for a mess of pot is just integrity. That's a very rare thing. The second thing I look for is accountability. We live in the age of Ferguson. And Ferguson's about what? Folk being terrorized, traumatized, no police accountability. Every 28 hours for the last 9 years, a black or brown person has been shot by a police or security guard, and not one policeman has gone to jail as a result of federal pressure. There's been one policeman who did go to jail, Oakland, California. You all know Oscar Grant. You remember the film?
Yeah.
What was it called? Fruitville Station, I think it was?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. My Uncle Bobby, who was his uncle, he was with us in New York. Did put the pressure on the policeman, went to jail, stayed 11 months.
11 months.
Then out sipping tea again. And Oscar Grant's body lies in the grave. Same is true with Wall Street. Where's the accountability? All the crimes committed 2008, not one Wall Street executive goes to jail. Let Letitia get caught with a crack bag in the hood, going straight to jail. It's a criminal justice system that needs serious accountability to everyday people. Same would be true in terms of trade. You got the TPP now, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, reshaping the whole world in the corporate interest and image. Working people, poor people, afterthought. But here comes my dear brother Bernie Sanders. I said, whoa, it's like we got another brother who has integrity, moral consistency. Is he perfect? Of course not. Do I agree with everything? Of course not. How can a Jesus-loving free black man like me agree with everything in regard to any politician? I don't care what color they are. Of course, I don't even agree with everything with my mom. I take a bullet for her right in the chest, right in the heart, right there. But I'm looking for integrity. That's what I love about Brother Bernie Sanders. Part of our problem is most people don't know about him. They've never met him. They don't understand what he was doing in the 60s with Martin. They don't understand supporting Jesse Jackson in 84 and 88. They don't understand why Jesse won Vermont in 1984. And it was very courageous for a vanilla brother to be in fundamental solidarity with Jesse Jackson. Some of y'all are old enough to understand Jesse Jackson's impact in 1984 and 1988. Bernie Sanders stood right there. How come? Because he wasn't doing black people a favor. He's a person of integrity. He's concerned about the vicious legacy of white supremacy. He's concerned about vicious legacies of male supremacy. He's concerned about Wall Street domination of government. He's concerned about massive surveillance. And so when I got a chance to meet him and have dialogue with him, I said, brother, I'm going to go down with you. we gonna push you across the board, across the line. I think he's gonna win it. Now I said the same thing 2007 about Barack Obama. I said, Brother West, get off the crack pipe. No way this young, brilliant black brother gonna win. And at that time, all of the black political class was on the side of Hillary Clinton. All of them. And I love them, John Lewis and others, they just wrong. I still love them, they just wrong. And I told them to, Brother West, what you doing hanging out with Barack Obama? He has no chance whatsoever. I said, we're not talking just about chances, brother. We're talking about somebody who's gonna raise some issues. And with Sister Hillary, too much inconsistency, inconstancy, too tied to Wall Street. Not a word about the, how you doing, my dear brother? Not a word about the master surveillance state. Ambiguity, she's for TPP, it's the golden standard. Then she start running, change her mind. Oh Lord, we've seen that again. I'm trying to be pragmatic. No, don't confuse pragmatism with opportunism. They're not the same thing. Well, Bernie Sanders is a democratic socialist. Martin Luther King Jr. was a democratic socialist. So was Ella Baker. Well, Hillary says she's a pragmatist. One of the founders of American pragmatism, John Dewey, he's a democratic socialist. Michael Haneke, Barbara Ehrenreich. We can go on and on. It's not the ism. Don't get in any way detoured by the ism. It's the angle of vision. If you look at the world through the lens of poor and working people, you're going to be concerned with the fact that 1% of the population owns 42% of the wealth. And yet 40% of children of color live in poverty. And 22% of children of any color. Each one precious. Black, brown, red, yellow, white. Each one equally precious. Living in poverty in the United States. That's a crime against humanity. And we're not even talking about the schools. And what does Brother Barry talk about? He's talking about eliminating poverty, making poverty a crucial priority. He's talking about free schools in the public sphere for college across the board. He's talking about health care as a right, not a privilege. You got a lot of people breakdancing over Obamacare. It came out of the Heritage Foundation. It was a deeply conservative institution. I support it. It's a wonderful thing to make health insurance more available, yes. But who's in the driver's seat? Big pharmaceutical companies and big insurance companies still. They just have a bigger market, bigger bonanza. So you still got 20-some million folk who don't have health care because health care is not understood as a right as opposed to a privilege. So we support Brother Obama in trying to make it more widely available, but single-payer health care is the only civilized response to all of the suffering that's out there in regard to all of our citizens. See, for Bernie Sanders, it's not a political point, it's not lip service. See, part of the point of most politicians is every 4 years you got nice little lip service, then they move right back into the mainstream and become well adjusted to injustice. That's what I love about Brother Bernie's family. He said, no, I am who I am. Look at what I've done. From civil rights, trade union rights, concern about ecology. Same is true with the issue of same-sex marriage. We can debate until the end of time. But it's a pretty clear issue. You can't evolve on that. You either believe it or you don't. But if what you determine your convictions by checking to see what the polls are, that's Machiavellian. That's political calculation. That's not moral conviction. You see. Some folk against it, they're against it. They got their own theological grounds and so forth. They take a stand that still has its integrity. But if it's just a matter of key line pipestone. I mean the Keystone pipeline. Same way. Check and see how things are going before you take a stand. TPP, same thing. We can go on and on and on. No, we need somebody to just take a stand. We, in a world of trouble, y'all know that. Let me stop now, open it up for questions, the queries, and so forth. Please don't hesitate to jump in. My dear brother.